under $30,000. Talk about winning plays. Our financing team is here to help you with affordable options. We offer payments under $500, and that means more money for your fantasy football bets. With our certified pre-owned lineup, every car is thoroughly inspected, so you can drive with confidence. That means getting to the game without worry.
Just over the hill from high prices, Buskin Motor Company.
Wow, that was thrilling.
Yeah.
We could have had OT there.
Yeah, it was a great look. We would have had a fifth review because I think it would have had to go, and I don't think he got it off in time. But heck of an effort by Western. I mean, a lot of adversity. I mean, foul trouble. Just didn't play great, honestly. But they managed to make it, and they managed. Patrick Jensen did a heck of a job managing that game. But Rocky is tough. I think Rocky has a chance to be a team that could win this conference. I mean, they were, to me, I think looking at them early in the season, they were the best team. Just see if they can maintain that.
Rocky led by 10 at the break. They were up by 13 in the second half. And let's go to the player of the game. And you could pick anybody from Rocky. They had 5 players in double figures. Royce Robinson had a very nice game from Fergus County High School. Royce, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 16 points in the game, 6 of 11 from the field. Had some rebounds, some steals, some assists. He had a solid game.
Yeah, what I liked about him is he missed a couple threes early and didn't pout, didn't go away from what he did. Just put his head down and went to the basket. And especially in the second half, early when Rocky needed something, he went to the basket.
Our play of the game, and working so hard to get that off.
Yeah, McCoy, that was a big bucket. I mean, Western had tied it up at that point. And then they have to double Lee. You have to double Lee. There's no way, no two ways around it. And he gets an easy look, and it leads to a winning basket.
Rocky wins by 3. Take a break, come back, wrap things up.
Pepsi, Mountain Dew, and Opportunity Bank.
We follow pizza drivers and make sure the customers get a Pepsi.
Is that legal?
It's a gray area.
That's the perfect combo.
Hey.
Get off your...
Show off. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Mountain Dew.
Montana, a place of rugged beauty, hardworking people, and endless opportunities. And for over 100 years, Opportunity Bank has been here. As a Montana bank with a legacy of stability and service, we understand what it takes to build a future in this place you call home. So if you're looking for a bank that's as Montana as you are, come to Opportunity Bank of Montana. Of Montana, by Montanans since 1922. Member FDIC.
What I love about Rocky Mountain College would be the opportunities that are available for all of our kids, all of our students. And just recently I was hired as the Director of Indian Education for Billings Public Schools. So community to me means we belong. Everyone belongs here. It could be every individual from any type of background. I think that's the biggest thing, is just that sense of belonging.
Back at Four Seasons Arena on the campus, well, here in Great Falls, Montana, Rocky Erickson with, I'm tired, Brian Crosby. We get set for our 4th game of the day. I'm pretty sure this is the last game of the day. 3rd-seeded Carroll College, they're 13-4 on the season. They've won their last 3. They've won 5 of their last 6 up against the Lights of MSU-Northern. The number 6 seed, MSU-Northern, went just 2-12 in conference play and 8-19 overall. And they're handing out the hardware as the champion of character.
great thing they do here. It's kind of a unique thing to start every game with this, representing or acknowledging each of the players from both of these programs.
In the last game, Rocky beat Montana Western 88-86. Rocky put 5 players in double figures, shot 53% from the field. Montana Western did not miss a free throw.
Yeah.
They were a perfect 16 of 16 in the game.
And receiving the Frontier Conference Champion of Character Award for Carroll College, James Lang.
James Lang, 6-foot junior from Portland, receives the Champion of Character Award for the Saints with Charlie Gross, athletic director at Carroll College. And our halftime guest will be Scott Crawford as the basketball conference goes from 6 teams, all in Montana, to 12 next year. And we'll find out what their plans are for the Frontier Conference Tournament next season.
You know, one of the things talking with Adam Hyatt that he's excited about, and I think I'm probably speaking for all the Frontier Conference coaches, is that how this is going to raise the level of the conference, especially when it comes to things like RPI. You know, he was mentioning that when you play each other 3 times, the only thing it does is hurt your RPI. And when other conferences are looking at for postseason bids and postseason things like that, they look at that number. The only thing it does is it affects you negatively. So having that ability to spread out the schedule, and plus those are some really good teams. You know, Dickinson State won the regular season conference. Derek Selvig, the Glendive native and former Montana Grizzly coach, player has done a great job as the head coach there. So it's really interesting to see what it's going to do to the conference as a whole.
It's going to be great having Dickinson State back in with football as well. They were a member several years ago, but boy, the future of the Frontier Conference is very, very strong, to say the least. Some of the top players for both teams: Leon Sayers, a 6'7" junior. That's Leon Sayers, the 4th. He has started every game, leads the team in rebounding, shot 53%. Averaging 10.6, and we get to see for Carroll College is one of the top players in the conference, Isaiah Crane. I watched him the night he put 38 up on Rocky, number 1 in the conference, averaging 18.4 a game, number 2 in the conference in steals, shooting 52%, a freshman. So Coach Pearson is going to have Isaiah Crane for 3 more years. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he inherited a pretty good group of young players. And I honestly think the guy that just got announced there, Kellen Harrison out of Bozeman, is really the guy that's made the difference for them down the stretch. He's been inserted in the starting lineup, and he's made a huge difference for them because he does something that is really important in basketball. He can shoot the ball. Plus, he plays hard. He led the AA in steals, so he can guard people. You know, he's not going to be a guy that's going to be a liability for you, but he's definitely a plus on the offensive side. And you make shots, you have a chance to be really successful, and I think that this team is uniquely qualified for that.
And since Coach Pearson changed the lineup, they are 4-0, unbeaten. And this is a Carroll team that gets up and down the court. They average 81 points a game. They've been over 90 8 times this season. They put up 101 against Providence, 109 against Augustina. So they can score. And Kramer will jump center. Carroll's in the white. Northern is in the maroon. And the second men's game of the day, the 4th overall, is underway. Dela Cruz. Round. Crane with it up on top. There's Harrison. Man-to-man defense. They're going to go down low to Kramer. Harrison will drive. Kramer's going to go up strong. No. Sayers. Rebound. Maxwell. And we're coming back the other way.
The few times I've seen Northern this year, they seem to get off good starts, and they just kind of go through these lulls where they have a hard time scoring.
Maxwell found himself open underneath the basket. And the Lights strike first when these two teams met during the season. Carroll won all three. January 18th in Havre, 80-58. February 6th in Helena, 67-49. Then in Havre again, 59-55. And that was their lowest scoring conference game when they only scored 59. And that was just last weekend against the Lights. Hold them to under 60, a team averaging more than 80. Greg Morstein from Dillon, one of the officials. Of course, his father, Joe, in the Montana Officials Hall of Fame. The most famous person in Dillon, Joe Morstein.
There's a lot of famous people in Dillon.
Boy, that is the truth. Maxwell.
Looks like he's going to call out a hook, I would guess, on the offensive foul. Or on the post up. It's a point of emphasis, 32. Sayers, he's basically reaches his hand around, puts it on. And that's a pretty easy call for Morstein.
We played 90 seconds. We've not had a review.
It's been a good start.
Hamilton. Bailey. Whoa. No foul there. Kramer. And Thomas with the foul. Boy, this is physical.
Yes. And it's going to be too, yeah. And on the catch, they probably got a call. They let him play through that, but then you can't put two hands.
They didn't call a foul on that.
No, but they can't put two hands on him there, and that's the easy call. Probably was one on the catch, but they're going to, let the guys play through it, try to at least.
Kramer can't get free. Round. And the basket's not going to count. Got called with the walk. We're going back the other way.
Yep.
Shawnee Hughes in his 23rd season. MSU-Northern, how about 437 wins? He's had 11 20-win seasons. If you go to Northern as a basketball coach, you stay in Havre.
Yeah.
That is awesome what those coaches have done. Three-pointer. Sayers got his own rebound off a missed three. Reardon for three. And out of nowhere comes Harrison with the rebound. Wasn't he MVP? Wasn't he Gatorade football player?
Gatorade football player of the year. Probably had it in the conversation for basketball, too.
The Gatorade football player of the year plays basketball.
Yeah.
Dela Cruz. Inside Kramer. No, he's fouled. All day long, men's games, women's games, it's so hard to score.
Yeah.
I mean, the defense has been outstanding.
It has. I thought the last game was very fluid. The officials did a good job. There was a lot of reviews. They did a good job of letting guys kind of play through things, and early on, and it every game I think early, referees have a profile, so to speak, and a lot of the good ones want to call stuff early to make sure they don't have to call it late.
And the Northern student body is here in force, and what they do in the women's game, they changed sides, they changed ends, didn't they?
Yeah.
Kramer, 6'9" junior, Bellevue, Washington. One of two.
They've had a long afternoon, so hopefully they have some energy to finish this one out.
Yeah, they were here for game one today at 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Northern, slapped out by Dela Cruz. Lights will keep. Lights went 2-13 in the conference, 8-20 on the year. Lost their last 4 games. Only twice have they scored 70 or more this season.
Mm-hmm.
Reardon on the inbounds.
Interesting turn of, I don't know what you'd call a turn of events, but both of our men's quarterfinals have been rematches of the last game of the regular season.
Exactly. Kramer with a block. Harrison, coast to coast, 2-on-2. Nice dish. Crane couldn't get the layup to go, and that's going to be a charge.
Yeah. Probably should have given that up a little bit earlier for Harrison, and just momentum keeps going. Perfect position by Reardon, takes the charge.
Dela Cruz playing full court defense.
Not nearly as fluid as the first game was, for sure.
6'11" Randall from Louisville, Texas to Havre, Montana. Bailey, in and out, no. Rebound fought for, winning the battle is going to be Round. Harrison with the three, nice touch. He's 30, he shoots 41% on threes.
Yeah, and you have to find him immediately, know where he is, you know, and I think the game where he first started to play a lot was the Providence game in Providence, and they ended up losing that game, but he had a breakout, and I think ever since then his minutes have increased, and now he's starting.
Slapped around, Dela Cruz wins the battle. Long lead, there's Harrison. Three-pointer, why not?
Yeah.
Timeout, Keelan Harrison. Back-to-back threes for the Saints. Carroll up 5.
AMI is advanced metering infrastructure. We can talk to the meters can talk to us. So we're able to be very proactive in making sure that customers have reliable and stable power.
We actually are stopping outages from happening by looking at the data coming back from these meters.
That's the overall goal, is to provide our customers a safe and reliable solution that's cost effective, and this is the start of that.
For more than 85 years, D.A. Davidson has strived to build relationships and trust. From our first office in Montana to each of our 70 locations spread out coast to coast, we're on the ground and in your neighborhood, combining the values of a local partner with the capabilities of a national institution. We achieve strong outcomes based on mutual success, planning for future generations and building legacies that endure together.
Northern down 5 and make it a 2-point game. Three-pointer, Maxwell. Crane, Dela Cruz. Round gets it slapped out. Kramer. Harrison. Well, he's hit 2 threes. First few minutes of this game.
Yeah.
Round on the drive, no. And it's going to be saved right back up, no, by Round. And we're going back the other way. I just got a text from my friend Bob Ritterot. He says he's been watching since 1 p.m. I'm like, Bob, you got to get a life. I mean,
get outside, do something. No, they've been good games. I mean, that's the thing too. It's when there's familiarity, like these teams know each other so well, they just leads to really good opportunities, good games.
Sayers, Maxwell, another three, no. 6'9", Kramer, the rebound. And we haven't seen the leading scorer in a conference, Isaiah Crane, do much of anything yet. There's Harrison. Can he make 3? Oh, man, what a touch.
Well, and that's just a great call from Pearson. That's Princeton point series. Basically, you set a split screen and Crane with a great cut. 2 guys go with him, and that leaves probably the best shooter in the conference right now wide open for a 3.
So in the first 6 minutes, he's got 9 points. He comes in averaging 6.
Yeah.
Guzalakchek getting set to come in, Mr. Turkey. 3-pointer. McEnroe. We have a 2-point game. Saints up. Kramer. There's Crane. Double, triple team. Reverse. That, folks, is Isaiah Crane.
Yeah, and that's what he does better than anybody. His ability to get to the rim. I would be surprised if he shoots, I've seen him maybe shoot a handful of threes.
3 new players will come in for Carroll College. And we got a timeout. 13:25 left to go. That Crane hardly ever takes a set shot.
Yeah.
His athleticism is simply off the charts.
Yeah,
he is a player, I'm telling you what.
And they do a really good job of getting him downhill, and that's the thing that he does really well. So
I didn't catch that, Marty. Our scoreboard sponsor, Opportunity Bank of Montana, Montana-born, full-service community bank with locations throughout the state offering a range of banking, lending, mortgage, agriculture banking services for over 100 years. They've been a Montana community financial institution committed to providing strong financial futures for Montana. Opportunity Bank, member FDIC.
Well, the three-pointers, I think, are going to be the thing that keeps Northern in this game. And obviously that's something that Carroll does really, really well. So, you know, coming out of a timeout here, just curious what Coach Hughes is going to draw up. I think there's definitely an opportunity for them to get another look at a three. You know, Maxwell's hit a couple in a row and definitely feeling it.
13:25 left to be played here in the first half. 4-point lead for the Saints. Sewell will bring it up. James Lang in the game for the first time for Carroll College, taken away. On the steal is Lang. Lang will take it coast to coast. This Lockachek is in. Back out to Lang. They take Harrison out. He had 3 threes. What a bucket. Gusilocek, he hurt his knee before the season, decided not to have surgery and sit out a year, and he is playing with a huge brace, and he's playing well.
Yeah, it's tough. Torn MCL. You know, he's not exactly the most athletic guy, I guess we could say. And, you know, you throw a torn MCL in on top of it, it's pretty impressive that he's able to play at a high level. And it's still got a little bit of quickness in him for a guy that size.
Crane with the walk. 12.5 to go. Kramer's coming back in. 14-8 our score. Saints out on top. Rocky Erickson with Brian Crosby. Maxwell. Reardon. Gets it out to McEnroe. Maxwell. Reardon on the drive. Back out McEnroe. Maxwell with the 3. Oh my. Carroll won all 3 games during the season. 3-point lead, Saints. Moore with an outside 3. There's Kramer. Moore. Bounce pass on the inside. Travel. $11:45 left to go, first half. Scott Crawford will join us at halftime. Boy, he's been a busy man this first year.
Yeah.
Well, he's year number 2 now. Reardon. Thomas. Has me doing a Frontier Conference update every week.
I saw it. They're pretty good. Pretty good. No, I think he's done a great job of obviously expanding the conference is a huge thing, and that's going to be interesting to see what happens in the coming years as far as what the footprint's going to be.
What a drive. Reardon. We got a 1-point game here in Great Falls. Saints out on top. They like to run. They can score. Dela Cruz. Here's the low check. Lang, he's going to get 2.
Yeah, it was a good drive and basically patience. You know, Northern's done a good job of not really allowing any clean lanes. You know, goes underneath that, beats Lang to the spot, gets him on the elbow on the pump fake, and you know, and Lang started most of the year, has been coming off the bench. You know, you got to appreciate a guy who is willing to accept his role, change his role, so to speak, if it's better for the team. You know, and those are sometimes hard things for for coaches and kids to kind of like to manage. But his first year, Dan Pearson's done an amazing job of instituting, number one, is his culture, and two, really kind of some unique concepts to college basketball in the Frontier Conference.
Lane goes 1 of 2. Sewell. Reardon. Got a 2-point game. Saints out on top. Thomas almost traveled. McEnroe drives all the way in uncontested.
Yeah. No help defense.
Lang back the other way. Crane's getting set to come back in for Carroll College. Dela Cruz with it. We're tied at 15. It's our first tie of the game. Round. Dela Cruz blows past his defender. Wow, that's quickness.
Quick first step there, yeah, for sure.
Full court pressure. Carroll College. Sewell, Bailey. Hard to believe Northern went 2-13 in the conference. I mean, they're a good-looking team. Sewell almost taken away. It just shows you how good the conference is.
Yeah, and it's like we talked about with the Northern Tech women's game. It's like sometimes it's a matter of effort, and I think that's the thing. You can't get away with not having good effort. So, I think that Northern has some dudes. You look at them. I mean, they definitely have some guys that look like they can play.
Dela Cruz deals the inbounds. Cruz crossover. He's fouled. Harrison is back in. Keelan Harrison from Bozeman. He is 3 of 3 from deep. Not any active shooting for Dela Cruz. Well, that's quite a crossover move.
Yeah.
Dela Cruz on the inbounds gets it back. Open from 3, didn't take the shot. Kramer will go up strong, the hook. Yeah. When you're 6'9" and you do that, that is hard to defend.
Yeah, and you don't see a lot of good back to the basket post play anymore. And that was a good job. Even a guy with the bad, his right arm, his shoulders got a brace. He's got his right elbow taped up.
Hey, it's postseason. You play hurt, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's
Reardon. Deep 3. McEnroe. Wow. That's only his 10th 3 all year.
Yeah.
He was shooting 25% on threes. Saints up 1. 9:03 to go. First half. There's Harrison. He needs to shoot every time he touches it.
Yeah.
Taken away by Reardon. They got a 2-0 break. And that is a 1-point lead for the Lights of MSU-Northern. 8:54 left to be played in 1. And we're back with more.
There's something different here, in the air and in the attitude. It's the tight-knit community, complemented by bigger thinking and even bigger innovation. It's high-tech labs with sweeping Rocky Mountain views. It's a place where research, innovation, and ideas are matched by an understanding of why it all matters in the first place. Here at Montana Tech, you can realize your potential, fuel your passion, and find your path. Join us.
Montana, a place of rugged beauty, hardworking people, and endless opportunities. And for over 100 years, Opportunity Bank has been here. As a Montana bank with a legacy of stability and service, we understand what it takes to build a future in this place you call home. So if you're looking for a bank that's as Montana as you are, come to Opportunity Bank of Montana. Of Montana, by Montanans, since 1922. Member FDIC.
Dr. Scott Crawford will be our halftime guest, the commissioner of the Frontier Conference. The way that, especially the football conference, is spread out in 4 or 5 different states, they need to spend a little money and get a private jet. And then the announcers, of course, will also, fly on the private jet as well. Dela Cruz in trouble. Finally, they get it up. Crane with the right side, just 2 points. for probably the Frontier Conference Player of the Year. Kramer's going to back his way in, gets it stripped, and Maxwell with the foul. And Kramer is coming to the free throw line here. 8:34 left to be played in the first 20 minutes here.
You know, the thing I like about Crane, you know, he is a leading scorer in the conference, but and he hunts, but he gets them like in just bursts. I mean, he's not a guy that's like a volume guy that has to come out and run stuff early. You know, like a couple times I've watched him this year, he ends up with 26 points, and maybe 18 of them are in the second half. They just come in bursts and quick things. So he's, for a young guy, he's very patient. He doesn't feel like he has to rush anything.
Great defense, Dela Cruz. Sayers the fourth, back in the game. It's a 1-point game. Northern scores here. They're back on top. 8:10 left to be played here in the first half. Nice move, Bailey. Lost it. Loose ball. Sewell hits the three. His 30th of the year, and Northern leads by 2. Here comes Crane. He's somebody that can get his shot off whenever he wants. He's that good.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Dan Pearson coming with a pro background, I know he's heavy in analytics. I've heard him talk at coaching clinics. He loves his idea of analytics, and I guarantee a lot of his lineups are based on efficiencies and things they do. And you know, that's the thing with Crane, is like his efficiency is off the chart. He's not taking really risky, hard, tough shots.
Sewell swings it around. Up on top, McEnroe. Back to Sewell. Shot clock down to 5. And Kramer will clear it out. And Crane back the other way. Oh my. He is so amazing.
Yeah. For a young guy too, just, you know, his strength and his ability to finish through contact. And
almost taken away by Crane. He's going to get the foul?
Yeah, he got him on the wrist, but you like the gambling nature of Carroll. They're a little bit undersized against this Northern lineup right now, and you know, plus the ability to maybe speed up a couple of possessions.
Isaiah Crane is worth the price of admission.
Yeah, well, I think to me, Kellen Harrison shooting, I would pay extra.
Yeah. Boy, what a stroke.
Yeah, he's
Reardon. McEnroe. 3 on the way. No. And a rebound. He had 3 Carroll players around the ball on the rebound. Dela Cruz. And there's Crane. Double, triple teamed. I mean.
Yeah, that's a subtle thing that they saw the switch. It was a switch, and then they have a little action that goes right off the top of that, and that's how it got him downhill and in a position to score. So that's really good. That's just great play design and execution.
Isaiah Crane to basketball is what Brian Crosby is to announcing. And here comes Crane. Back the other way. Dela Cruz up on top. Saints up 4 under 6 to go. Harrison. Dela Cruz. Offensive charge.
That's the second time he's done that, where he's left his feet to make a play, and that's just a kind of a cardinal sin. I mean, it's the right play. He drives, you know, but the help's there outside of the restricted circle, and it's a pretty easy call.
The student section for Northern, they are loud. 5:51 left to be played. First half here. Lang back in the game. Northern Thomas with it on the inbounds. Sewell will bring it up. Sayers, yes. 2-point game, 5.5 to go in the first 20 minutes. It's game number 4 of the 2025 Frontier Conference Tournament. Crane had 38 the last weekend of the regular season. That is Isaiah Crane. Wow.
I'm surprised he's taken as many threes as he has on the year. He does such a good job of going to the rim. But yeah, he's a unique talent, and I think credit to Coach Person. When you get a gem like that, you inherit that. You basically find a way to use him.
Isaiah Crane has put up 5 shots. He's made all 5. 29-25. Dela Cruz. Great pass. Back out. Crane with a 3. What more can you say? Let's hand him the Frontier Conference Player of the Year at halftime of this game.
Yeah, I think he put him in the conversation for sure. I think he's...
Boy, he is really smooth. The Frontier Conference would like to thank the following corporate sponsors for their continued support of our conference. Logan Health, Cooper Tire, Tire-Rama, D.A. Davidson, Hotels, McDonald's, Northwestern Energy, Pepsi, and First Interstate Bank. 4:39 to go in the first half. It's 32-25.
Quick review on that last 3 to make sure it was a 3. So. Yep.
What did Mr. Morstein say?
He said they couldn't see his feet, so they're going to go with the 3 because that was a call. He was pretty deep, so I think it's probably the right one.
Owen Smith on the inbounds. Saints up 5. 4.5 to go in the first half. Our 4th and final game of the day. Reardon. McEnroe. Smith. Reardon. Lost it. Out of bounds. And it's going to be Saints ball. Isaiah Crane is 6 of 6. 13 points in a game. Crane. Kusalocek. 3-pointer round. Wow. Carroll, they're 14 of 18, 78%. It's not really that bad.
No, it's not. And I think the other part of that is, Northern, this has kind of been their bugaboo throughout the season, these lulls, these stretches where they don't get much going offensively.
3.5 to go. McEnroe, boy, needed that one. What a first half for Carroll College. Isaiah Crane has not missed. Crane, Dela Cruz. Back out, Crane. Round. Up strong off the glass, no. Nice rebound. Sayers the 4th. Sewell. McEnroe. Player down, no whistle. Back out, Sewell. Reardon. That's going to be a travel. I got a question for you after the season that Crane is having. I mean, with the transfer portal and all, how do you keep him in NAIA basketball?
Well,
I don't want to bring that up,
no.
but it's the obvious.
Well, yeah, it is a good question. I think that the portal is a little bit overrated because it's a little bit inflated. I mean, I think there's so many guys in there, and I think that a lot of guys go in there thinking there's a greener grass on their side. If you look at him, he's a 6 foot, 6'2" guard in the Frontier Conference, he would struggle probably just with the size at the next level, so to speak, in the D1, D2 areas.
Big offensive rebound. Sayers not going to be stopped. 6'7" junior out of Spokane. Back to a 6-point game.
Plus, there's something to be said about being the star of your role and where you are, and I think that, I think a great example of this would be the Providence women. Bill Himmelberg's able to bring in some high quality, high caliber kids and get them to stay here. And I think that's it can be done.
Crane, he missed a shot. Moore. Husilocek, players down all around him, no whistle. And that's going to go by Crane. The lead is 8. But Crane did miss.
He did miss, but, his patience. I mean, that's the thing, too. It's like, he's sitting at 15 points, and it's like he hasn't really hunted a lot of, taking a tough shot.
Lang. Rebound. Lang pushes it back the other way. Round. Husilocek. Boy, he was slapped out, no whistle. And layup, yes, Maxwell. Northern shooting 54%, Carroll shooting 70%. Unbelievable. Lang. And he's fouled before the shot. Boy, what a game.
Yeah, the Carroll coaching, the Carroll bench thinks that the last 2 fouls have been shooting fouls, but that was clearly, I don't know, I mean, it's a judgment. I mean, just because he throws it up after a half a step doesn't mean it's a shooting. But good news is if you're a Carroll fan, then we're shooting free throws regardless. And I think that this guy that's shooting free throws is a pretty dang good free throw shooter.
85% on the year for James Lang. Misses that one. Dela Cruz with the rebound.
Littlest guy on the floor, huge rebound.
Well, they're shooting better from the field, 70, and they are from the free throw line, 68% in this game. Explain that one.
Yeah.
8-point lead. Saints. Maxwell. Three-pointer, Reardon. Man, Carroll shooting 70%, and they only lead by 5. Shot clock is off, and they've kept Carroll to just 39 points in the first half.
Yeah, you look at the stats, it definitely should be a much different outcome.
Dela Cruz working hard. 5 left in the half. Lang at the buzzer. No, it's halftime. 39-34. Carroll out on top by 5 at the break.
Are you ready to unleash your awesome? Then you need 8 gig all-fiber internet from TDS. You'll have the powerful internet you need to stream, game, learn, and work today, and be prepared to take on anything new you can dream up tomorrow. Imagine internet you'll never outgrow. Get 8 gig all-fiber internet from TDS and embrace infinite possibility.
When you get to McDonald's and see there's a line, but you're not waiting in it because you ordered ahead in the app and chose curbside before you got here.
Here you go. Thank you. Get up, that dance if you want to.
Order ahead in the app to save time. Did you see that? Yep. Looks like rain. Also looks like McDelivery. Order McDelivery in the app.
I'll tell you what, these two teams tonight are hot. Carroll College, 15 of 22, 68%. They're 5 of 6 on threes. Of course, Harrison is 3 of 3. Northern, 14 of 25, 56%. They're shooting 46% on threes. Northern's playing one of their best games they have all year, and they're down 5 at the break.
Yeah, it's got to do a better job of finding guys. I think the thing that what's happened is the fact that they've made some threes on Carroll's side has opened it up, and that's allowed Isaiah Crane to get some much easier driving lanes. You know, instead of having to go through a single gap where there's maybe help nearby, that movement, that guy having to be closer to a shooter has left him to have wide open, not wide open, but definitely a bigger gap he's able to attack.
And let's go to the Mountain Dew do-over in the first half of game number 4 of the day. Saints, Keelan Harrison, watch this stroke.
Yeah, and
isn't that pretty?
He is, and he just this shot to me was incredible because he catches off balance, doesn't have to dribble, basically just has the time to balance himself and knock it down. But this is when Crane really started going. When he can get to the rim, which he does very, very easily sometimes, finishing, and it was near perfect in the first half. And Northern, though, they hung around, right? And they had their opportunities, and they, frankly, I think they shot probably above their grade, so to speak, and that's really kept them in the game. But you know, the biggest thing with Carroll is that they do a great job of doing what they do, and you know, if you're Northern, you're going to have to get some turnovers.
What a first half we've witnessed here. 39-34, 5-point lead for Carroll College. We're going to take a timeout. We come back. We're going to visit with Dr. Scott Crawford, Frontier Conference Commissioner, right after this.
Montana has one of the highest suicide rates in the United States.
Suicide impacts people of all ages, genders, and ethnicities.
On average, 300 Montanans die each year by suicide.
Our best chance of stopping suicide is to stop the stigma.
It's time to talk openly and honestly about mental health issues.
Together, let's take the pledge to be allies against suicide.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
I was attracted to the biology program here at Western, mainly because of the block program. I like the Experience One program, first off because of the small class sizes. I'm able to get to know my classmates really well, and second off because of the professors, getting to know them. And it allows you to be more than just a student in the class. They care about you and they care about what you're doing. After attending Western, I plan to go to the University of Washington School of Medicine, the WWAMI program, and practice rural medicine throughout Montana.
I'm living for my people. I'm dancing for my people. A lot of our kids and a lot of our people do vape and smoke. Especially around here on the res, there's a lot of that negativity. It's really pressured from the things that come from around us. It's very dangerous to your body, and not only to your body, but to yourself and the people around you. Kids are easily influenced by the things that they grow up and they see. And when an adult is doing something like that, they see it as an okay key to go and do it.
Well, we've saved the best for last. Our last interview of the day, Dr. Scott Crawford, the Frontier Conference Commissioner, and it's unbelievable what you've accomplished in such a little time. And we're going to go from 6 basketball teams to what, 12 next year?
To 12, yes.
Now tell us about the 6 new teams in basketball who will be in the league.
So I'm going to use my cheat sheet, that new banner I brought in up there. We have Bellevue out of Nebraska. We have Bismarck State, who's joining the NAI and joining us. They've been a junior college there in Bismarck, North Dakota. We'll have Dakota State out of Madison, South Dakota. We'll have Dickinson State rejoining us and hope to keep them in the fold for, permanent. It would be fantastic. Mayville State, also out of North Dakota, and Valley City State out of North Dakota. I've been to every campus, and I am super excited about us becoming that 12-team league next year.
So, Scott, what do we do postseason tournament? Everybody's been asking me, what's it going to look like next year with 12 teams? Will all 12 teams advance to the tournament? Will there only be 8 teams?
Yeah.
What's that going to look like?
That's a good
question. And where will that be held? Billings would be a great central location. It's where Rocky lives. It's just an idea.
Well, you know, I think my backyard would be a great place for that tournament, you know, in Helena. Now, to your first question, we will be 8 schools, 8 teams on the men's side, 8 on the women's side. And we will be continuing to have that at a single site like we're doing currently. We are currently collecting bids from member schools who have interest in hosting that. That tournament turns into a 4-day tournament compared to a 3-day tournament. And we should know something by the end of this month. We're taking those bids. We have a transition team that will be reviewing those bids, making a recommendation, and the Council of ADs will make a final decision.
It's going to be exciting.
It is.
That really is. Tell us about big plans in football next year, too. Big changes.
Big changes in football. We'll be 14. We have 2 divisions, 7 and 7. The NAI, by rule, forces us, in a sense, it's actually a good thing, but they force us to play in those 2 divisions to get the 2 automatic qualifiers. Doesn't mean we can't get a 3rd or a 4th, but the winner of the West Division and the winner of the East Division will be going to the national postseason next year. They will play. You play everyone within your division, and there will be a lot of crossover games. So a lot of the traditional games that have been played will continue to be played. They will count differently. They still count. Every game matters, right? But they will be the 6 games that really matter are your 6 intra-division games.
Boy, a lot of changes in a short amount of time. Halftime with Dr. Scott Crawford. We're going to take a break, come back, and visit more with the Frontier Conference Commissioner.
There are 2 types of people in this world. Those who love Taco John's and those who haven't tried us yet. We're a destination for excitement, where your wildest cravings and our wildest creations meet in crispy, melty, zesty harmony. Sirloin steak, homemade pico de gallo, and our taco shells are fried fresh every day. At Taco John's, every visit is a chance to go bigger, live bolder, and eat better. And once you get a taste, there's no going back. A bolder option is here. Taco John's.
Scrap metal for cash? Come visit us at Central Montana's leader in recycling, steel, etc. in Great Falls. Our center processes steel, stainless steel, aluminum, copper, brass, and lead. And we pay cash for scrap based on weight. We also accept batteries, electric motors, paper, cardboard, and more. And our roll-off containers are available for any scrap projects you have. We even buy and recycle junk cars. Trade your scrap for cash. Visit us at steeletc.com or call us at 761-4848.
It was a year ago when Dr. Crawford decided he wanted to meet me for breakfast here in Great Falls during this event, and he had an idea. He said, Rocky, with your statewide radio program, we would like to do a front I didn't, I wasn't 100% sold right away. I give up one whole day in my program, but it's been great content, very well received.
I think we have collaborated well, you and I, on I do a lot of the grunt work and you do the talent work, and I think it's been a good collaboration. So, I'm a production assistant as commissioner, so.
It's exciting. There's a lot that goes into hosting an event like this, isn't it?
It is, and I just want to give kudos and compliments to the University of Providence, 3rd consecutive year of hosting this tournament, and we're off to a fantastic start today. We've had 3.5 games that have been amazing. That we're on pace to have a 4th fantastic game, and just appreciate the Argos and all the effort that goes into this and the amount of work that they have done.
What I love is all of the older coaches, retired coaches that are here that are volunteering. I pretty much know every volunteer in the building.
Well, that puts you at an advantage because I don't know very many of them, but I haven't been here long enough. But those that are gutsy come up and talk to me, and we have a great conversation. And a lot of people seem to be a little standoffish, but I love having those conversations. So
the Frontier Conference alive and well and growing.
Alive and well and growing. I'm short of the Big Ten and the ACC. We're probably the most geographically diverse conference in America. There are probably some others. I haven't done my homework, but when you're stretching from Mayville, North Dakota, to down in Phoenix, Arizona, Glendale, I should say, and down there for Arizona Christian, and we're going out to Northern California this year with Simpson, and we just cover a lot of ground. And then even just in that's just for football with some of our associate members. But I'm excited about volleyball and basketball and everything else that we're going to be doing. A travel schedule. We're going to be playing Friday, Saturday games in volleyball, Friday, Saturday games in basketball. And I think fans are going to really enjoy getting 2 high-quality games. From what I've been told, this will be the best thing that's really happened to the Frontier in quite a while, and making sure that we're having these high-level games, these meaningful games, and more home games than ever before.
What I'm excited about, the expansion of the Frontier, I got to call a game in Glendale, Arizona Christian Tech in October. And when you get that private jet to fly around this huge conference and you get to take, the sportscasters along, that's going to be really exciting.
That is going to be an amazing day. And I think you and I will be long gone when that jet actually is purchased. So
we can only dream,
right? We can only dream. Otherwise it's long car rides,
Dr. Scott Crawford, Frontier Conference Commissioner, it's unbelievable growth in a very, very short time. Scott, thanks for all you do. Well done. Congratulations.
If I could put in one more quick plug, I know time is short, but on Tuesday night during the halftime of the men's game, we will be recognizing Kent Paulson
awesome.
With the Ron Swede Kennison Memorial Award. It's our highest honor we can give to an individual. The AD selected Kent for that award, and we're going to present that in person. He'll be here with his wife, Joan, and with a lot of his family. And I look forward to recognizing Kent and giving him that award.
He is a great young man. I like him. Thank you, Dr. Crawford. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Rocky.
And we're going to take a look at our Frontier Conference sponsors. Our corporate sponsors include Logan Health, Cooper Tire, Tire-Rama, D.A. Davidson, Hotels, McDonald's, Northwestern Energy, Pepsi, and First Interstate Bank. Well, Brian, you missed it. Dr. Crawford, while you were away, promised me a private jet next year to take the sportscasters around.
Sign me up. I'm telling you what, I mean, it's, as a basketball nerd and a junkie, it's just fun to watch. Frankly, some really good coaches do some really good things, and I mean, the job that Daniel Pearson's done in his first year is amazing. I was actually just talking to Guy Almquist, who gave him his first coaching job. He was the freshman coach at Helena Capital back many years ago. And when he wins the national championship someday, I'm going to hold it over his head that he's 0-1 against me as a freshman coach. At least that's the way I remember. I remember it happening many years ago. But Dan's a great guy. He's a Billings Central grad, played at Carroll, alumni. He's done an awesome job, And the thing that's crazy about them is that they've had 3 coaches in 3 years, and they've maintained this level of consistency, which is tough to do.
There's no way these two teams can shoot as well in the second half as they did in the first half, is there?
About to find out. No, yeah, you're right. And I think that's crazy. It's only 74, total points. So it's pretty impressive, actually.
Reardon on the reverse layup. 3-point game. Northern is a number 6 seed. They went 2-12 in the conference. Carroll, the number 3 seed, and they went 8-6 in the conference. And Carroll in that first half, well, they shot 68%. Northern, boy, what an upset this would be if the Lights pulled off the victory. Well, the Skylights won. They're the number 5 seed. They defeated Tech in the women's game, and Tech won all 3 during the regular season. Anything can happen in this league. Maxwell gets free. Sayers the 4th. Fall away, he walked. And we're going back the other way.
You know, one thing that Coach Pearson is brought to Carroll, and I think it's unique, is just the way they rotate on defense. You know, their doubles, their rotations, you know, their tags as they call them are very, very unique, and they're very good at them. I mean, you know, that was a rotation, that was a ball reversal where Northern should have got a good look, and they ended up getting a turnover.
Harrison in, 3 for 3 on threes. Here comes Crane, and Crane, wow, gets blocked, no foul.
No foul. Play through it, and you know, it's the one thing this conference does a good job of working with their officials, and you know, they're pretty good. So
long lead taken away by Harrison. He should have held up and popped a 3.
Yeah. I was thinking the exact same thing, and wouldn't have shocked me.
Dela Cruz, Kramer backs his way in, rises and fires. The lead is back to 5 for the Saints. We've played 2 minutes of the second half here. Maxwell all the way down to the baseline, and they bring it back out. Thomas. Reardon. Almost taken away by Harrison. Thomas from the line. Boy, Northern does not look like a team that went 8-20 this year.
No, for sure. And you just heard Coach Pearson yelling pace, pace. You know, that's the thing where Carroll's definitely better, is when they play a little bit faster, get some early looks.
Kramer gets it slapped out.
Kramer's a nice post player. I mean, you don't, again, like we talked about, you don't see a lot of back to the basket post players, and he does a really good job of finishing around the rim.
For head coach Sean Hughes, game number 715 in his career at Northern. That is impressive.
I bet he remembers every single one of them.
Kramer. And that's going to be an offensive foul.
Such a tough call, tough play. You know, it doesn't really extend, but does lower his shoulder and takes in the chest. So you know, it's a tough call, but it's probably the right call.
And the Northern student section has moved to the other end behind the basket, as they did during the Skylight women's game. Thomas, boy, what a move. And now Northern shooting 60%. Carroll shooting 64%. 1 point game. Harrison, Crane with the 3. Isaiah Crane, he's got 18. He had 38 last week in a game I announced against Rocky at home. Sayers, Thomas. Rocky's playing lights out, and they only lead by 4. They only lead by 1. Can you believe the quality of play?
No, lots of. Part of it is they're getting good, clean looks. You know, and whether that's offense or whether that's just not very good defense.
Kramer, Dela Cruz. Dela Cruz goes up. Yes.
That little action that they run is probably their best stuff. That split screen where one guy goes and one guy pops up, and whether it's Harrison shooting a 3 or in that case Dela Cruz going to the rim, it's pretty hard to defend.
Finally a miss. Reardon. Crane back the other way. Crane tried to blow by his defender, fouled by Maxwell. Isn't it fun to watch Crane, though?
Yeah,
so athletic.
Well, he doesn't extend. He doesn't feel like you're watching a guy that's like trying to score 30. You know, he's very unselfish is maybe the best word to describe it. Where he's patient and he's not. If he makes the right play. If he reverses it, he knows he's going to get the ball back. And I think that's the thing. And I think too, like probably the biggest thing that's helped him is Harrison playing alongside him, because now you have a shooter.
Guselo check. That was smooth.
Yeah. Just soft hands and
5-point game. Northern. Thomas. Offensive rebound. And Kramer is going to get the foul, right?
I think they're going to call that one on.
No, Goose.
Yeah. I think he was okay with it.
15 minutes left to be played. Very high-quality basketball.
Yeah.
Reardon. Sayers. Reardon with the three. Oh, man. Reardon's got 15. Over his average. Crane has scored again. And Crane's got 13.
The most interesting thing about Crane is his efficiency. You know, he's 9 for 11. You know,
I read that wrong. He's got 20.
Yeah, he's 9 for 11 with 2 threes. He's 2 for 2 from 3. It's like he's not, I mean, how many times the guys have to take 26 shots to get to 20 points? And that would be considered a good output.
Reardon. And Northern's going to have it on the inbounds underneath the basket.
No.
Boy, it's going to be sad to have somebody lose this game. The Saints are 20 of 29, 69%. The Lights 19 of 34, 56%. The Lights are 8 of 19 on threes. Carroll is 6 of 7 on threes. Why don't they shoot more? Down low, slapping around. Bailey makes a save. Sewell. Reardon. Sewell open. Can't take the three. Lang on the steal. And shot clock violation. Boy, nice hustle for James Lang. And Kramer's coming back in. It's surprising to me they can keep this intensity up for so long. We got a 4-point game here in Great Falls.
I try to, stand for something. I try to stand for positivity. I try to stand for, health. I see the impact of vaping, amongst our communities as, a total negative thing. I would say to adults, set the example, learn to communicate, with the young people and your own children. And so we always share with the young people is that you got to find your own strength. You guys are role models, you guys are leaders, and that's what we need in our communities.
What is the power of a Northern degree? It is the power to teach and the power to heal. It is the power to feed and the power to fuel. It is the power to choose your career and the power to rise to the top. That is the power of a Northern degree, and that power is in your hands.
We are witnessing something special here in Great Falls. Wow. 4-point lead for the Saints. You hate to see a loser in a game like this. Isaiah Crane, work it up. Crane's got 20. He's 9 of 11 from the field. Crane will drive. Get his slapped out. Kramer backs his way in. Lang cuts the defense. Lang gives it up off the glass. and in for Isaiah Moore. Full court pressure. Carroll. Reardon. Back to Thomas. Needing some help. Reardon is going to get it back. Crane all over him. Sewell. McMonroe. Shot clock down to 1. Carroll on the rebound. Round, long lead. Kramer. And Kramer, they call it jump ball. Can we look at that one?
Yeah, it's probably
looks like it's all ball, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know if it's a jump ball or a block shot. I mean, I think it's not a foul. I mean, if that's what
definitely not a foul.
If that's what the Carroll fans are upset about, it's definitely not a foul. So
Crane, Moore, 6-point game. Game 4, day 1. Frontier Conference Tournament. Four Seasons Arena, Great Falls, Rocky Erickson with Brian Crosby. Lang, working hard. Lang, round. Well, that was right before the shot clock. Both these teams using a lot of that clock.
Yeah, last couple possessions for sure.
And that's helps Northern because Carroll's the one that likes to get up and down the court.
Yeah, they're metrics based. It's as many possessions as we can get.
Great idea. And their game plan has been effective. Reardon, laying all over him. Reardon gets to the basket. Wow. 4-point game. Crane back the other way. Lang left open.
Big three,
7 of 8 on threes for Carroll College. Slapped out, and they're going to say Northern basketball. The lead is 7. The Saints have shot 70% from the field, 78% on threes, and they only lead by 7 points. Those numbers are unheard of. Owen Smith taken away. On the steal is Moore. Crossover. And Moore to the free throw line for 2. Wow.
They're going to take a look at this if he played the ball, I think. And this might be our first review of the last game. Looks like he definitely didn't try to play the ball, so it's going to be. And looks like they're going to go to the review. And if you take another look at that, it does look like that definitely Reardon did not play the ball. He grabbed, trying to take the foul, and that happens. I mean, a lot of times guys are going to take fouls, but you got to play the ball, and I think that's a pretty obvious one.
Well, first review of the game. 11:15 left to be played, and Brian Crosby, he'll tell us what he thinks. Brian Crosby has never been wrong.
Gotcha.
Yeah, well, that's definitely a foul.
Yeah, and what Greg Morrison just said is going to decide if he pulled him down. If he pulls him down, then that becomes a flagrant one. Is the explanation that I think that he's just trying to make. So basically, what they're looking at is whether or not it's going to be that or not. So the steal here, and then you see it the other way. He goes to play the ball, but he does grab the shoulders, and I don't think that
it's a great look here.
Yeah, and I don't. I think he kind of whiffs. I think he kind of whiffs on it, but it's definitely a foul. Now, here's where the Carroll fans are going to come unglued because I think they're going to call this one on the floor, and it looks like he was definitely going to shoot.
Whoa.
Okay, so they upgraded to a flagrant one, so that's going to be free throws for sure, and then the ball for Carroll on the thing. So. And
when they announce this, the Northern fans are not going to like this.
Yeah, so it's a tough call, and I think it becomes one of those things where a guy you have to play the ball, and that's it's a tough one. You know, I think he kind of realized what he was doing. He frustrated from the turnover. He gives the foul up.
So a flagrant one, more at the line. That barely caught iron. 7-point lead for the Saints. Moore goes 1 of 2. And Saints will have the basketball underneath their own basket here. 8-point lead for Carroll College. Putting up some spectacular numbers. Crane. Kramer, baseline. Crane. Crane puts up the jumper. A rare miss. Kramer on the rebound. And the foul. That's going to be number 3 in the lights. 2 on the Saints. 11:05 left to be played.
Yeah, and I feel that's, to me, like the first, I wouldn't call it a bad shot when a guy's got, you know, the efficiency he's had, but that's the first shot where he probably settled for something he probably could have got a little bit better for. A contested 18-footer. But, you know, when you're going in and you're 9 for 11 at that point, then it's probably a shot you want to take.
Bailey back in the game for the Lights. Kramer working hard. And Crane, he wants to go one against the world. Crane does just that. Short, that may have been partially blocked. Here come the Lights. That was a long possession for Carroll College. Sewell will bring it up on Lang. Gets it out to Sayers. Sewell, will someone make a run here? Sewell. McEnroe behind the back, taken away. Round on the steal, long lead, Lang, glass,
pass,
yes.
Yeah.
That
Good,
was huge.
Yeah, definitely good.
Quickly back the other way. The Lights need to answer. They're now down by double digits, 48-58. Their season is on the line here. Sayers turns and fires, no. Kramer the boards. Long lead. Layup, wow.
And this is where Carroll gets Carroll. They get basically 2 runouts lead to 2 really easy baskets and a 12-point lead.
9:44 left, 60-48. Saints.
Time fun. Our lives are made up of working through the day-to-day, supporting the ones we love, and enjoying those special moments that make it all worthwhile. As Montanans, we are resilient, resourceful, and all about preserving our way of life that we are proud to say defines us. At Stockman Bank, our sole focus is serving the people of Montana. We are Montana's brand of banking. We are Stockman Bank.
At Benefice Orthopedic Center of Montana, we offer same-day appointments and advanced treatments to help get you back to rolling. A tradition of advanced care. Learn more at benefice.org.
Well, with 9:44 left in the game, Saints up by a dozen, 60-48. The Saints are 24 of 36 from the field, 67%. They're 7 of 9 on threes, 78%. That would be hard to do, you know, in a practice, not playing against a defense.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Isaiah Moore, it's been a little spark off the bench. You know, two turnovers, 2 easy runouts, the last 2 possessions.
Bailey picked up by Lang. Reardon. Reardon gives it up to Thomas. Down low, that's going to be an offensive foul against Xavier Bailey.
Look at this one again. I don't know. Maybe a flop, but that's a tough one. They called it the same way down here, so I think there's been some continuity to it. It wasn't a lot of contact for sure.
Whoa, Lang tried to get it to a cutting Crane on the inside. Well, 4 more games tomorrow. Semifinals tomorrow. Championship on Tuesday. Bailey, coast to coast. Slapped out, taken away. Round, Crane. Puts up the 3. Wow. Crane, 23 points in the game. 3 for 3 on threes in the game.
Perfect time for a 3, just transition, steps into it.
Coming back the other way. Oh, what a block by Kramer. Defensive play of the game. The lead is 15 for the Saints. Kramer on the other end. He gets a block on the defensive side. He gets a dunk on the offensive side. And that's an exclamation point as the Saints go up by 17 with 8.5 left to be played in this game. Wow.
And that was a deflating sequence if you're Northern. You can just see it on their body language. It basically, end to end, good job pushing tempo, but comes out of nowhere, knocks a shot, but then runs the floor. That's the thing too. And it's like there's so much concern about what Crane does that everyone's focused on him, and a guy just runs right down the middle of the floor and gets an easy dunk. And when you get tired and you get kind of down, and like those are the little things that cost you. You don't wall up. You don't. Defensively in transition, we always talk about you got to get to the key and work your way out, because the only thing that can really hurt you is the basket. So they got to do a better job of that, and I think that's the biggest thing with this run here is that the defensive transition has been very, very poor for MSU Northern. Whether or not that's fatigue or just not, whatever it is, it's definitely not helping them right now.
This has been a very close game up until the last 90 seconds.
Yeah. It's just transition. It's just going. I think that's the thing with Carroll. And you notice they've picked up full court. It's not necessarily to get steals. It's to get tempo. And that's one thing that Coach Pearson is big on. It's just this idea of tempo. And they play a lot of guys. I mean, really, 7 or 8 is all they really play. But they play hard and they don't stop playing.
Well, Northern has dug themselves a hole. Down by 17. Keelan Harrison is back in the game for the Saints. Whoa, off balance 3, Reardon. He's had a really nice game.
Yeah, if it's not for Reardon, I think that this game might be out of reach.
And this is 4-3. Reardon's got 20 points in the contest. Came in averaging 12. Harrison hasn't put up a 3 in a while. There's Crane with a 3. Rebound, Harrison.
And that's an underrated thing about Kellen Harrison is just his activity and how good he is at moving without the ball. And he just kind of finds the ball. Like there's, the smallest guy on the floor, one of the smallest guys on the floor gets an offensive rebound and keeps the possession alive.
Kramer up strong, no. But Kramer to the free throw line here.
A subtle thing on that out-of-bounds play. They've run the same out-of-bounds play roughly the last 4 or 5 times. And then, they've had the same action where it's a handoff or something going on, and he basically just keeps, and he's able to get a guy on his shoulder and get to the rim.
Kramer is in a nice game as well for Carroll. He's got half dozen rebounds. 9 points, under 8 minutes left. And Kramer goes 1 of 2. And they're still keeping that full court press.
Yeah, it's about tempo, speed. You might get a steal, but if nothing else, now you're looking at 22 seconds on the shot clock, and they're just starting their offense.
The Saints, boy, what a run. If they're going to win here, it's 5 wins in a row. Down low, working hard is Sayers to get that basket. The lead is 13. Harrison, Dela Cruz. 7:20 left to go. The lead is 13. Never really out of it with a 3-point shot. And Crane. 25, Isaiah Crane.
Like we talked about in the last game with Jesse Owens, like never getting sped up. You know, that's one of the things that Cranes does a really good job of. Like that, he gets a guy, and we call it in jail. Basically, comes off the ball screen, his defender's behind him, and instead of like attacking, he just kind of slow rolls and gets to the hoop and gets to where he wants to go.
Reardon. 15-point game. Saints up. 2 on the shot clock. Got the shot off. Crane with the rebound. Here comes Crane. Carroll trying to get into the semifinals where they will play Providence. Kramer with the hook. No. Reardon the rebound. Sewell taken away. Going back the other way. And there's a Harrison 3. Whoa.
Missed it. I know. I'm shocked as you are.
Isn't that a pretty release, though?
Yeah. You know, it's he's shocked he missed it.
Shoots 41% on threes. We got a 15-point game here in Great Falls.
Hey. Get off your citrus. Show off. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Mountain Dew.
Up. Up. Up.
Yeah!
Up.
Up. Up is where we are headed at the University of Providence. Up with learning.
Up with opportunities.
Up with community.
Up, where we are guided by our faith.
Up with excellence.
With faith guiding your way, it is all up from here. Are you ready to rise up? The University of Providence, connecting people with their potential.
I try to, stand for something. I try to stand for positivity. I try to stand for, health. I see the impact of vaping, amongst our communities as, a total negative thing. I would say to adults, set the example, learn to communicate, with the young people and your own children. And so we always share with the young people is that you got to find your own strength. You guys are role models, you guys are leaders, and that's what we need in our communities.
Under 6 to go. Not over till it's over. Reardon, Northern can get hot. That's going to be a foul on Carroll. See what Kramer did?
Yeah.
Put his hand through the basket, knocked the ball off.
It's just, I like that little gamesmanship. You don't want a guy to see it go through the hoop.
Let's see if we can see it here or not.
Kind of a heads-up play.
Northern, Reardon, he's got a hot hand. Didn't get that one to go. Another rebound for Kramer. 5.5 to go on a 15-point lead for the Saints, trying to pick up their 15th win on the season. Crane. Round. Back to Crane. Gets it slapped out. Crane makes the save. Kramer, three-pointer, no. Rebound, controlled by Northern. And Crane with the foul. 5:03 left to be played. Well, we got 4 more games coming up tomorrow.
And that's a big one. I didn't realize he was sitting on 3 because, you know, to take that foul that far away from the basket and that circumstance can be tough when, especially when it gets to 4. But
Reardon, the drive, three-pointer not going to drop. And the Saints will bring it up, 4:44 to go. Harrison with an up on top. Crane's on the bench. Dela Cruz. And a whistle coming away from the ball against the Lights. And both teams with 6. 4.5 left to go. Dela Cruz, they got him listed at 6 feet. No way.
No. But he's got the highest vertical on the team, and
they spread out the offense here. 5 on the shot clock. Got to put it up. Dela Cruz, no, didn't hit rim. Shot clock violation. 4:10 to go. Will this be the final game of the season for the Lights of MSU-Northern? And flying up the court, Maxwell, no. Rounds back the other way, under 4 minutes left to be played in this game. Harrison, Kramer, taken away.
right idea, good look. Backdoor cut was there, just not a great pass.
Well, they need to shoot some threes and need to make a lot of them.
Well, that's Mendez. He's a 41% three-point shooter on the season. That's probably why he got inserted at this point in the game.
J.J. Thomas, great second effort to get it to go. The lead is 13 with 3:20 left. Round will bring it up. And we're going to have a timeout with 3:16 left to be played in this game. 68-55. Saints are out on top here. If the Saints win, they will play Providence. Rocky will play Montana Tech. The Rocky Tech game will be at 7, and the Carroll Providence game will be at 9 o'clock. Our scoreboard sponsor, Opportunity Bank. Opportunity Bank of Montana is a Montana-born full-service community bank with locations throughout the state, offering a range of banking, lending, mortgage, and agriculture banking services for over 100 years. They've been a Montana community financial institution committed to providing strong financial futures for Montanans. Opportunity Bank, member FDIC. .316 left to be played. Saints win, they go to 15-14 on the season. They'll take a 5-game winning streak into the Frontier Conference semifinals.
Well, and I think the thing that's impressive about that is, you know, we mentioned it early that this is a completely rehauled roster. There's a couple of holdovers and guys that he inherited that are signed, but you know, the biggest thing is the changes that Coach Dan Pearson made that really sparked this team to make this run at the end, towards the end is pretty impressive.
Northern trying to get the ball. Kramer up for the LEU dunk. The foul against Thomas. Thomas thought he got all ball.
Let's look at here.
Boy, that looked pretty clean, didn't it?
I think that's a play that the end of it looks a little bit worse than it might have been. Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, I think anytime a guy's is elevated in the air, the tendency is that they want to protect a guy as best they can.
And Kramer gets a free throw to go. He's got 11 points in the game. Crane's got 25, and Reardon with 20. Saints come in averaging 81 points in. They've had 8 games this year where they scored 90 or more. Reardon, wow. 22 for Reardon. Single-handedly keeping his team in the game.
Pretty savvy knowing that Crane has 4 fouls. He's probably not going to be willing to defend too much.
Harrison, Moore. Saints want to take some time off the clock. Round.
Well, I think you need to be careful here.
Harrison, Kramer. Wow.
Worked out. I was just going to say, you got to be careful when you start to bleed some clock that you limit your opportunities and you limit yourself to having a good shot, a high-quality shot.
Back to a 15-point game. Thomas.
Definitely a shot you can live with if you're Carroll.
Boy, the Saints, they could win this whole thing.
The way they're playing, for sure, I think it's going to be interesting is just between Tech and Rocky, that they're big, they're physical, they're seasoned. Those are huge things. But this play here, they've had 2 possessions were almost a turnover, and this is going on the ball ends up at Harrison's hand, and you're going to get a dunk out of that. So, 15-point lead with 2 minutes left it's not insurmountable, but I think that you got to do a really good job of making sure that the shots you are getting are still high quality, but they need to come early. You can't be waiting late in the clock if you're Northern to try to get a good look. So, on the flip side though, Carroll, looks like they went to a sub that would be more defensive based.
And Carroll's shooting percentage down from 70% to 62%. And they want to, they're all over Crane. Lang, he's fouled, and going to see a lot of free throws now. Minute 47 to go. Both teams are in the bonus. Harrison back in the game.
This is,
And that is going to be number 5. Maxwell is out. The sophomore is fouled out. And 5 new players will come in for MSU-Northern. Barnwell is in from CMR.
Yeah, good to see Rogan. Had a chance to talk to him earlier in the year. A great kid. One of my all-time favorites. Works so hard. Talked to him. He's about to graduate. He thought he'd be done probably, one more semester after this, and he's going to have a degree, which is awesome. And I think that's why you go to college. I mean, it's still the name of the game. It says college athletes. They're scholar athletes, and finding a way to better yourself, so to speak.
A minute 28 left to be played in this one. Taylor Franklin also in for the Lights here. Dela Cruz, coast to coast. Back out, 3 on the way. Not gonna drop, McGavran. And there's a 3. Barnwell. And the Great Falls fans here love that. Under a minute to go. Dela Cruz, Harrison. Saints look very impressive in this game. And Dela Cruz, no. They keep it alive. Lang, fall away. Shot clock violation Well, the Saints are going to move on to the semifinals, and they are going to play Providence. It's going to be Rocky against Tech. 28 seconds left to be played in this one, and a whistle and a foul.
Maybe turnover, stepped out of bounds before the foul.
Okay.
But I tell you what, I mean, this is two great matchups for tomorrow for sure. I think that those are two like teams, if that makes sense, between the four that are playing. So.
And Keelan Harrison will dribble it out. Final score, it's going to be Carroll College 72 and the Saints 60. So Carroll College advances to the semifinals tomorrow night.
Make your family's time on the water extraordinary in a Mastercraft wake boat from Pierce RV and Marine. Mastercraft's award-winning boats are built with best-in-class materials for proven durability. Whether you're wakeboarding, wake surfing, water skiing, or tubing, there's something for everyone. Choose from the flagship X-Star family to the X-Series, XT, and sleek NXT models. This season, experience world-class performance and endless fun with a Mastercraft wake boat from Pierce RV and Marine in Billings.
Cascade Electric. Cascade Electric is an experienced, proven, and highly rated electrical contracting company. Cascade Electric is here for all your home, commercial, and industrial electrical needs. They have been troubleshooting since 1917 and more than willing to do the job you need. Small or large, Cascade Electric can take care of you time and time again. Make sure you take time to visit Cascade Electric. Visit Cascade Electric today.
This season, score big with one of our many cars under $30,000. Talk about winning plays. Our financing team is here to help you with affordable options. We offer payments under $500, and that means more money for your fantasy football bets. With our certified pre-owned lineup, every car is thoroughly inspected, so you can drive with confidence. That means getting to the game without worry.
Just over the hill from high prices, Buskin Motor Company.
The Lions of MSU-Northern shot 51% from the field. They were 10 of 23, 44% on threes, and they still lost the game.
Yeah, and it wasn't like it was a lot of turnovers or things like that. It was just outstanding effort by Carroll. Efficient. I mean, top down, they just did a great job of basically taking advantage of what Northern was giving them, and they got enough stops and they got enough turnovers to make a difference. And they really themselves took care of the ball. They didn't get turned over very much, which is the secret to the game. You know, when other team shoots well, you just have to limit your mistakes and make sure you have more opportunities than they do.
Let's go to the highlights. I think this is going to be our player of the game. And who else could it be? Isaiah Crane.
Easy choice. And I mean, like we talked about the whole game, just super efficient. I mean, the things about him that he does is like this. It's just he's in control. You know, this is a